Hello everybody, welcome to my English channel presented by Ahmed Sayar. Please like, share and follow and subscribe. This course is intended to Common Core students, to my students and to everyone who wants to learn English. Today we are going to move to unit number 2 in Outlook. The title is What and How I Learn. This is part number 1 in unit number 2. Of course, the textbook we are working with is Outlook Student Book, adapted by the Ministry of Education in Morocco. Okay, alright, let's start then. Of course, this is unit number 2, which we are going to start with now. Great, let's start then. The content. In this video, we are going to go through conversation and function, and then we are going to end up by grammar. Alright, let's move then. Conversation. Vocabulary cards. Listen and practice.
Unit 2. Vocabulary cards. Listen and practice. How's your English class going?
Pretty good, but I found the pronunciation difficult.
You need time to get it right. You can have a good accent by listening to English songs.
That's a good idea. But how can I learn new words? I always forget new words.
Write new vocabulary words on cards and have a look at them from time to time.
That seems interesting. Perhaps I can try something like that.
By the way, Tony, do you still need to take language lessons? Maybe. What's the language school offering? Well, here's the course catalogue. Have a look. That sounds okay.
Which language would you prefer to study? Arabic or French?
I prefer Arabic. In fact, I've got French classes almost every day. So, go to the registration office. The secretary can give you more information. This way, please.
Alright then, okay. Then, comprehension check. Look at these questions here. Correct the false information in these sentences. Please look at these sentences and correct the false, which means that all the 3 sentences are false. Just correct them. First sentence. Samir has got 2 problems with English, listening and pronunciation. Number 2. Tony wants to have more French classes. 3. Tony can get more information from the teacher. So please correct, take your time, stop the video and correct these false information. Stop the video, please. Alright, now let's correct. So for the first sentence, the correction is going to be like this. Samir has got 1 problem with pronunciation. It is in the text when he says that I find the pronunciation difficult. Alright, let's move to number 2. Number 2, the correction is Tony wants to have more Arabic classes. In the text we have, which language would you prefer to study, Arabic or French? He said, I prefer Arabic. Great. Number 3, Tony can get more information from the teacher. No, the teacher said, Tony can get more information from the secretary. In the text we have, so go to the registration office. The secretary can give you more information. Very good. Let's move on. Function. So please copy this in your exercise copybook, please. That's a good idea. You copy the table in your exercise copybook. Write expressing interest, asking about preference, or expressing preference. Now, read the conversation and fill in the table. In the conversation we have seen now what are the expressions we have expressing interest. Like for example, the example you have, that's a good idea. And what are the expressions where you have asking about preference? And what are the expressions we have expressing preference? Please go back to the text and try to find the examples and write them please in your exercise copybook. I repeat, in your exercise copybook. Stop the video please and go back to the text. If you have the text or the textbook, you can open the book at page, I guess, page number 9. Great. Let's correct now. Yes, that's a good idea. We have another example that seems interesting. And we have another example too, which is that sounds okay. So expressing interest. Okay? Now, asking about preference. In the text we have one example. Which do you prefer? It's a question asking about preference. Very good. Expressing preference. We have one example in the text which is I prefer Arabic. I prefer Arabic. Very good. Let's move now to number 4. Complete this telephone conversation with the appropriate expressions from the table. So, the expressions you are going to use them from exercise number 3. Read the conversations, please, and put the correct words in the correct blank. Take your time, stop the video, please. Okay, let's correct now. Look at the conversation between Sue and Jamila. Hello. Is that you, Sue? How are you? Not bad. Actually, not so good. I'm studying for exams. So here, I'm studying for exams. So what expression you are going to use? Of course, that's a good idea. Great. That's a good idea. Are you at home? No, I'm not. I'm calling from school. Oh, I see. How is it going? Well, some subjects aren't going very well. Which one do you like best? I think maths. So, what expression you are going to use in number 2? Yes, I prefer maths. Very good. Maths. Number 3. Maths. That seems interesting. Yes, my grades are very good, but chemistry is difficult. Biology. What do you think here? Yes, I prefer biology. I love it. I can help you if you want. And here, number 5. That sounds okay. It's time to go. See you this evening. Excellent job. Let's move on, please. Grammar. How we conjugate the verbs in the simple present. Now, here the lesson is very important. How we put the verbs, conjugate the verbs in English in the present, in the simple present. Now we have seen the verb to be in the simple present and we conjugate the verb to be like this. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, and they are. Good. Now let's see other verbs. Now in the other verbs in English, we are going to start with first the verb to have, which is different from the other verbs. Now when I say to have, I conjugate it like this. I have, you have, we have, and they have. Good. When it comes to he, she, and it, now here it becomes has. So you can say he, she, or it has. Good. Now Let's see now the other verbs in the affirmative form. So whenever you take a verb, let's take for example to go. So you say I go, you go. But when it comes to he, she, and it, we add an es. Then we, you, and they go. Let's take another verb. To speak. I speak, you speak, but when it comes to he, she, it, we add an s. Then we speak, you speak, and they speak. Another verb. To dance. I dance, you dance, he dances with s. She dances, it dances. We dance, you dance, and they dance. Okay. Another verb. To study. Now again, I study, you study, but when it comes to he, she, and it, we add an ies. He studies, she studies, it studies. And then we finish the verb as it is. Another verb. To watch. I watch, you watch, he watches. Now es. She watches, it watches. Another verb. I play, you play, he plays, it's an S. She plays and it plays. We play, you play, and they play. Alright, now, what is the problem here? The problem is that there is a third person singular S, and as we add in the third person with he, she, and it, sometimes it is S, sometimes it is ES, sometimes it is IES. Now let's see the rule now. Of course, the rule number one, the ES. So this lesson, you need to write it in your lesson copybook. So the first rule, ES. Now, the verbs ending with. So ES, we add it, we put it with the verbs ending with double S. Like for example, kiss and pass. Now, kisses, passes. Another verb. We add it with the verbs with ch in the end. Search, searches. Verbs which ends with sh. Finish, finishes. Other verbs with tch. Watch, catch, watches, catches. Other verbs with x in the end. Fix, box, fixes, boxes. Other verbs, again, last verbs with o, like for example, do and go, does and goes. So this is the rule of ES. Now let's move to other rule now. The IES. Now, the IES rule is used with verbs ending with the consonant plus the Y. Example, to study. Now here we have Y in the end, and before the Y there is a D, which is consonants. So the verb is going to be studies, IES. We just delete the Y and add IES. Great. Another verb example, to carry. Again, we have Y. Before the Y, there is a consonant. Carries. Another verb, to fly. Y. Before Y, there is a L, consonant. He flies. Another verb, to marry. We have an R before the Y, so he marries. Very good. Let's move to another rule, which is when we add S. Now, S is added when we have verb ending with E, like for example, like, likes, dance, dances. Very good. It is also ended with verbs not belonging to ES and IES rules. Now, let me give you here an example. Visit. Now, visit doesn't have an E. It doesn't belong to ES rule. It doesn't belong to IES rule. So we just add S, visits. Another verb, call. Again, calls. Play. Now wait a moment here. So stop a minute please. Here we have Y in the end. But before the Y there is A. It's a vowel. It's not consonant. So which means that here we have A, so we are not going to apply the IES rule. No. So which means we add just S. Very good. For more exercises on the third person singular S. Just go to agendaweb.org, verbs, present simple exercises. Very good. Now let's move to the negative form when we conjugate the verbs in the simple present. So, let's see, for example, to study. So we say, I study, you study, he studies, she studies, it studies. But with negative form, you say, I don't study, you don't study, he doesn't study, she doesn't study, and it doesn't study. Pay attention here. The verb is in the infinitive form. Very good. Let's move now to another verb. Now the verb to have. Now we say I have, you have, he has, she has, it has. But with the negative form, you are going to say I don't have, you don't have, he doesn't have, she doesn't have, it doesn't have. And we use with we, you, they, don't. Great. Now let me tell you one thing, is that don't and doesn't, we use it with all the verbs in the English language except one verb, which is the verb to be. So if you remember the verb to be, we say I am not. You are not. He is not. But with the other verbs, you must use don't or doesn't. Very good. Let's move now to the interrogative form. So the interrogative form, which is the question. Now look here at the example. For example, to speak. I speak English. Do I speak English? Now here you use do. Do you speak English? Does he speak English? Does she speak English? Does it speak English? Do we speak English? Do you speak English? Do they speak English? Alright, now let's move to short and long answers. Great. So, look at this question. Do you speak French? So this question has two possible answers. Either you say, yes, I do. This is a short answer. Or long answer, yes, I speak French. You can say also no, and it's going to be, no, I don't. Or, no, I don't speak French. Very good. Now, look at the next question now. Does your father play football? So again, yeah, no, he doesn't. Or, no, he doesn't play football. You can also say, yes, he does. Short answer. Or, yes, he plays football. Now pay attention here to the long answer. Yes, he plays football. But with short answer, you are going to say, yes, he does. Good. Let's move to exercise. Again, put these sentences in the negative form. John helps his mom every day. So, pay attention here. You have an S. So, whenever you have an S, which means we are going to use doesn't. So, John doesn't help. Pay attention. It's help. It's not helps. Very good. Next one. They relax on Saturdays. So here you have relax. There's no S. So don't. They don't relax on Saturday. Again, John and I study French and English. There is no S. So we're going to use don't. John and I don't study French and English. Very good. Next one. Mom gets up early in the morning. So here you have an S, which means I'm going to use doesn't. Mom doesn't get up early in the morning. Very good. The last sentence. You talk a lot about Morocco. And here there is no S, so you don't talk a lot about Morocco. Excellent job. Now let's practice a little bit. Now, let's move to your book, please, and look at here grammar. Read the dialogue and write true or false, then correct the false statements. Now, here, read the dialogue, please. Take your time. Mark and Selma. Okay, now let's see these sentences if they are true or false. Selma doesn't like languages. What do you think? It's false. How do you know that? Justify from the text. Well, she said, and I love them. Them refers to languages. Very good. Number 2. Selma's father is a journalist. Again, true or false? Justify from the text, please. It is true. How do you know that? He works as a journalist. Very good. Next one, 3. In Morocco, students have lunch at school. It's false. How do you know that? Look at the text. We go home for lunch. This is the justification. Great. Let's move on, please. Number 4. Mark doesn't have lunch at school. It's false. How do you know that? Now he said we have lunch at school. So this is how you need to answer the true and false questions with justification. Very good. Let's move on. Match the questions with the answers. Now, pause the video please and do the exercise, and then we go back to correct. Alright, now let's correct now please. Do the teachers give much homework? Yes, they do. What subject does she like best? Geography and science. Does your sister wear a uniform at school? No, she doesn't. How do they get to school? On foot. Great. Where do they have lunch? At school. Excellent job. What time do you leave school? Or do you leave for school? At 7:30. Very good. Exercise number 4 now. Complete the dialogue with the correct form of the verb in brackets. Stop the video please and do the exercise. You have verbs between brackets. Put them in the correct form. Okay, let's correct the exercise please. Rania, your high school, a library? Now here it's a question because you have a question mark here. Here there is a question mark, so it is the question. So the sentence is in the interrogative form, and we have the verb to have. So, your school, what you are going to use, your high school here, what do you think the correct answer is going to be? Number 1. Does your high school have a library? And yes, it. Look, pay attention to the full stop here, which means it's a short answer. Yes, it does. Very good. Finish the sentence. It has a large one. Very good. And next one. And students take the books home. Here you have a question again, and the verb take. And students is plural. Do students take? Very good. No, they not borrow. So not borrow means that the sentence is negative. And you have they here, which means you are going to use they don't borrow them. And then put the verb in the correct form, the next one. They read them and put them back on the shelves. Very good. Next one, Rania. It's a question again because you have here a question mark, okay? Do you have access to the internet? Yes, of course we. Short answer here. Yes, of course we do. Very good. We use, yes, computers, and again the verb to search. We search for information on the internet. It. Now pay attention here. You have it. The verb help. So it's going to be it helps us with homework and projects on different school subjects. We send, very good, emails to students in other countries too. Excellent job. More on grammar now. Let's move to prepositions of time. Good. Now, read the conversation on page 22 and circle all the prepositions of time that you have in the text. Then fill in the table with these prepositions. Let's go straight to the exercise. Put the correct preposition in the correct place. So, what do you use with Friday, Monday morning, 15th April? We use on. Very good. What do you use with 7 o'clock, noon, night, midday, midnight, present, the moment? Yes, we use at. Very good. Now, what do you use with the morning, the afternoon, the evening, etc.? We say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in 1995, in October, in summer, in 2 weeks' time, in the present, in the future, in the past. Very good. The last one. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Yes, from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So these are prepositions of time. Good. Now let's practice, please. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate preposition of time. Good. Stop the video, please, and do the exercise. Okay. Now, let's start with number 1. She works hard on weekdays. Very good. She gets up at 7:30. Very good. She gets on time. Very good. Number 4, in the morning. Excellent. Of course, in the afternoon. Good. And here, Wednesday afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon. Saturday morning again, day on Saturday morning. The afternoon, it's in the afternoon. Sunday morning, the day on. Now 11, 1 o'clock. So we have 2 times here. It's going to be from to. Very good. And then Sunday evening, on Sunday evening. Again, 2 times here. 7:39 is going to be from to. Very good. Excellent job now. This exercise must be put in the exercise copybook, except here the prepositions which must be put in the lesson copybook. Excellent job. Thank you for watching. This is the end of Unit 2, Part 1, Conversation, Function, and Grammar. Presented by Ahmed Sayar. See you later. Before you leave, remember to again like, share, follow, and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you for watching.